Certaines sont l'époque et les peurs. L'encre coule et durs sont les
We're going to convert from my 4-thread to a cover stitch. And the nice thing is, on this machine, it has a guided mode. But if you have the Bernina L890 or the L850, I think that's the right one, you can hit guided mode. And then I was using overlock, the 4-thread, and now I'm going to go, and it shows it right there. That's what I've been stitching. I'm going to go to a cover stitch, and then you choose how big of a cover stitch you want. So how wide of a cover stitch? If I want 1 needle cover stitch, nope, I don't. Or if I want 3 needle, 2 needle wide, 2 needle medium, 2 needle narrow, I'm going to go with the 2 needle wide. And then it says, it just tells me exactly what to do. Lift the presser foot, scroll to the next step. Unthread the following thread path. So the first thing I'm going to do is unthread my needles. Okay, so the needles are unthreaded. And then my upper and lower looper are supposed to be unthreaded. So I'm going to pull my threads. I'm going to clip, and I'm going to pull those. There's my looper threads. Okay, so they're out. Here's my needle threads. They're out, so it's unthreaded. Now I'm going to switch presser feet. I've not done this yet on this machine, so let me see if I know how to even do it. All right, to take the presser foot off, there's a little button on the back of this shank. You push that button, and it just pops off. So here's our regular foot. We're going to switch it to the cover stitch foot. So here's my cover stitch foot, and when the foot comes off, you'll notice the wire stays on, and we're going to just line this up and set it down, and it'll pop right back on just like that. And now we have our presser foot changed. So now that we've done that, it says adjust presser foot pressure to 4. So here's my presser foot pressure, and okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we need the needles in these positions. So right now my needles are way over here. They're in the left and right position. I'm going to move them so that they're in the L, C, and RC. So next I'm going to change needles, and that needs this fun little thing. I always have to double check my tools. It's this one. So you hold this and twist, and you do need to remove it, because what happens is your loopers will wrap to those needles. So if the needle is in the wrong spot, it can mess up your stitch. So I removed that one. Remember to tighten it back up. Now this is why when I do a cover stitch, let's say I were making a couple garments, I would put everything together, and then, because you have to change everything, then do all the cover stitching at the same time. Okay, so now I have no needles. I'm going to come in and loosen this one, pick up my needle. I love this little tool. Let's put the foot down so it's out of the way. And it goes right in. Tighten it back up. Now we're going to do this one. There's one in between we aren't using. If I were doing the 3-thread cover stitch, I would want it. There we go. Tighten that one back up. All right, so there's my needles, and I'm just going to, I always do this when I change needles on the serger. I'm just going to do a little test. Okay, so now we've done that. Now it says to deactivate the knife. Now if you don't know how to deactivate the knife, there's a little video for it, and I know it's right here. Oh, let me move this tray. Okay, tray's off. Right down here underneath is the deactivate knife. So I'm going to push that and see, can you see the knife going down? Okay, the knife is deactivated. Adjust the cutting width to 5. The cutting width is right down here. Okay, knife is right there. Here's cutting width. We're going to set it to 5. Okay. All right. Now it says attach the cover stitch insert. Here's my insert. It goes this way. And it says deactivate the upper looper. I think this one right here. So we're going to hit 0. Set rolled hem select lever to 0, which is this right here. And it is. Whoops. We're just going to move that so you can see. Here's that set to 0. Now we're going to start threading. There we go. Okay. Here's our tray table. This just slips right out, right down here, and then this one goes inside, just like this. And you can actually see where it just slips right in. There. It's nice and smooth and flat. So see, there it is. It's in place. Okay, so now we're going to start threading. Okay, so for yellow, we're going to just clip down in there, come straight across through this, and then this, it goes actually around this little silver thing, straight across the top, and then down beside where it says LC, and then into that first, into that first thing. And now, get my needles up. Now it's ready for me to thread the needle. So I'm not going to do that yet, but it's in place. I'm going to come back and do the same thing for the RC, which is this one right here. Okay, that's your blue one. And it's going to go under here, all the way across to the blue, around, and then down, into there, and then into this little slot. And now that's ready. Now we're going to do the CL, which is this 5th one right here. So I'm going to move this forward. It was the red, now it's the lavender. And you want to make sure you're going to turn this so that it can thread itself. We're going to lock it in. And then the fun thing about these is, turn that off. Boop. Okay, when you push your foot pedal, there, okay, it's locked in place. Can you hear that noise? That's the vacuum. And it'll come out here. There it is. All right, so we've done all of those. Now it says to turn that off. Okay, so that's it. It's a 3-thread cover stitch. Let's see if it's happy. Let's get us some fabric. Now this is a 3-thread stitch, so it only has 1 looper engaged. I did this on super soft fabric, but there it is. If you have really fine fabric, you don't want a super wide stitch because it's going to actually roll it. All right. Let's test it out. Now the goal is to get your hem centered between those needles. And you notice it doesn't really make a stitch when there's no fabric under it. But look at there. There's your cover stitch. And notice I did get my hem in between, so it completely covers that hem edge. It's nice and secure. So now I can hem my pants.